Welcome to Remnant 101 at the City on a Hill Church. I'm Associate Pastor Benji Lalayan. God's remnant recognizes that loyalty means choosing faith over fear, but also always having the fear of God. We're going to be following the story in 2 Chronicles chapter 16, which is the story of King Asa. I'm not going to take the time to read the whole thing. I will go over a verse or two as a part of it. Now, King Asa, who reigned in Judah during this time, is noted in the Bible to have been a good king who relied on God for many things, including a battle against the Ethiopians and the Lubim. Now, first, this story is a depiction of how even one who has pleased the Lord can fall short when he begins relying on other things. And in short, this is a story about a lack of faith. King Asa feared the building of Ramah and allowed that in place of faith to drive his decision to take treasures from the house of the Lord, send them to the king of Syria to form a treaty. Now, granted, it technically worked because he stopped building Ramah, but he escaped the hand of King Asa, contrary to the Ethiopians and the Lubim being delivered into his hand. Hanani the seer spoke to King Asa about his foolishness, and before mentioning the ongoing wars he would have for the rest of his life, he spoke about how God is endlessly searching the earth for people whose hearts are loyal to him. I want to read that verse real quick, verse 9. It says, "For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to him. In this you have done foolishly, therefore from now on you shall have wars." A faith is a testament to loyalty. Where the Bible says, without faith it is impossible to please God, you can also take that verse along with the verse I just read and say, it's also impossible to please God without loyalty. Because Asa ultimately didn't rely on God to take care of his situation. Even though he loved and believed in God, it was shown that he never had it in his heart to put God first in everything, which allowed fear to take over his judgment. Even on his deathbed, Asa relied on doctors as opposed to God. Faith in God for a period of time does not give you sanction from God to act on your own understanding later on. That's a reference to Proverbs 3, verse 5. He expects ongoing loyalty all the time for every situation, choosing faith over fear every time. In the Bible and even in this church, you have countless stories and testimonies of people who cannot deny that faith and loyalty to God always has and always will yield results. I want to take it in a different direction now, since I've been talking about fear versus faith and loyalty. Because my dad lately has been talking a lot about the fear of God, which needs to be brought back. Believe it or not, that fits into what I'm talking about as well. To have true loyalty to God, you have to have faith and godly fear. You have to have both. Let me put it this way. If a person has loyalty to a king, he has faith that that king has his best interests taken care of, but he also fears and respects that king and the power that he has. And that fear drives him to obedience and submission. The fear of God makes you always think about what God is capable of. King Asa loved God, but if he had that godly fear, God would have been the first thing he thought of when he was in trouble. Have faith in his protection over you, but godly fear recognizes his omnipotence and how he has the power to give and take away. That kind of fear makes you desperate to want to be on his side. That kind of fear makes you desperate to hop onto the ark as fast as you can. That's respect. That's exaltation. And that is loyalty. God bless you.